I'm Matt Shara with PSRPA, and welcome to Civics Explained. Today, we're talking about the level of government that's closest to home, local government in Pennsylvania. Now, you might be surprised to learn just how powerful and at the same time limited your local government really is. Let's break it down. Local governments in Pennsylvania are what we call creatures of the state. That's not an insult, it just means they only have the powers the state legislature decides to give them. Some municipalities can go a step further by adopting home rule charters, which allow them to design their own local government structure and have more say over local affairs. But even then, they're still playing within the boundaries set by the state. In Pennsylvania, there are four main types of municipalities. First, we have cities, like Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and Scranton. These are grouped by class based on population. Most use either a mayor-council or council-manager form of government, kind of like different models for who's in charge of what. Second, there are boroughs, smaller than cities, often the heart of small towns. They're usually led by a council and a mayor, but the mayor often has limited authority, mainly over things like the local police. Third, there are townships, the most common form, especially in rural and suburban areas. There are first and second class townships depending on population and local choice. They're run by a board of commissioners or supervisors. And fourth, we have home rule municipalities. These adopt their own governing charters, which gives them more flexibility. For example, both Philadelphia and Allegheny County operate under home rule. And even a third-class city like Monessen could become home rule if voters approved a charter. Most local governments have a legislative body, like a city council or township board, that passes ordinances, adopts budgets, and keeps things running. On the executive side, you might have a mayor or hired a municipal manager who handles day-to-day operations. Behind the scenes, professionals like solicitors, engineers, and planners keep everything functioning, along with volunteers on boards like the Zoning Hearing Board or Planning Commission. It takes money to run a town or a city, and local governments get it from property taxes, earned income taxes, permit and service fees, and state and federal grants. They spend it on pretty much everything you interact with every day. Police and fire services, road repairs, trash pickup, parks and libraries, building inspections, and community development. Now, a little bit about what local governments can and can't control. Municipalities have strong control over certain things, and it's worth defending that local authority. They have jurisdiction over zoning and land use, local police and fire, trash collection and code enforcement, and public works, parks, and local ordinances. But some areas are off limits. The state has control over gun regulations, minimum wage and labor laws, energy infrastructure siting, oil and gas, and most of public education. This is called preemption, and it means even if a community wants to act, the state can say, no, that's our call. Local governments are closest to the people. They can respond faster, they know the community better, and they reflect the values of the people who live there. That's why protecting local control is so important, especially when it comes to things like zoning, public health, and quality of life. The best part about all of this, you have real power to shape your local government. You can attend public meetings, serve on a board or commission, vote in local elections, or even organize a referendum to change how your government works through a home rule charter. You have the power to make change.